incredibly broad brush. But what you see around New Zealand, and you see it elsewhere in the world, people respond in different ways. Some people just believe the answer is to become totally self-sufficient locally, and so whatever mayhem eventuates in the world, they'll be all right. You could do that, but I'm not sure necessarily a life without drugs or computers or cars is something that many of us would necessarily want. So trying to be engaged in the world so we can play a part but get some of those wider benefits, I think that's really important. Yet, how a local community responds in small ways like energy efficiency or improving transport systems or improving the quality of homes or better protecting residential, commercial areas against storms and the rest. Those are all in themselves small but incredibly important elements of building up that greater resilience for the community. And the local council is fundamentally important because that's the body that we work with to make that happen. And you are seeing some really good stuff going on at that here and now practical level, but also that longer term thinking. So, in Nelson, what's going on there with the mechanism for helping people fund solar water heating in their houses and paying that back, that's a brilliant model to get out more widely, which Nelson's doing. So Nelson's playing a very nice role in pioneering that for the rest of the country. So that's exactly the sort of pattern that is dead right. And I'm sure that's what Richard does.
Well, and again, I won't repeat Mahatma Gandhi, but it's what happens locally is incredibly important because that really galvanises when you integrate it up, when you add it up globally. For example, why we have a fossil fuel problem, it's not airlines, it's not sea transport, but it's because of, I don't know how many billion cars there are in the world, and it's that little contribution from each. So if you can just reduce in those areas, or as Rod was saying, you have solar, hot water, solar energy, wind, everybody does their little bit. So it's the local action in the end that becomes incredibly important, because when you add it up over the globe, it becomes massive.
A couple more questions.
I believe Solid Energy are experimenting with burning coal underground and extracting the gas. And from what I've read in the last 3 or 4 months, the extraction of underground gas is becoming more and more efficient. So it looks as though gas will eventually replace the liquid fuel. What do you think, Mr. Oram?
At best, I'd see that only as a temporary measure, because that gas, when you burn it, still produces carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. So we actually need to get to fuels which have no greenhouse gas content. And again, there's a very straightforward concept here, although pretty hard to work on, is that we use an amazing amount of energy, but most of our energy comes from stored energy, stored sunlight in the form of coal and gas and oil. But enough energy flows across the face of the planet every day in terms of solar or wind or tide to more than power all our needs. So we're trying to get our energy systems to depend entirely on that flow of energy across the planet rather than a stock of stored energy because of all the byproducts from that store. So I think it's a real diversion to try and find ways to turn coal into gas underground, when we should actually be pushing on with the real technological solutions rather than the fix-up along the way.
One last question. Yes. Question for Jim. What is the chance that will drop methane from the greenhouse gas equation, given that it's got a half-life of 10 years or so?
I think you mean in terms of emissions trading and
Yeah, I mean, will they drop it for New Zealand farming and place of ruminants, obviously, if the methane is made on there?
well, agriculture globally is 15% of greenhouse gas production. And if you go offshore in Asia, paddy rice produces a lot of methane. So because methane has doubled, I don't think at all there's any chance in terms of international flora of methane disappearing.
Right. Well, thank you very much. I'll just bring this to a close because I know they both have to move into Nelson for a presentation tonight. Can I thank you both very much for your presentation this afternoon, and could we all express that? And as an expression of our appreciation, a little drop of product. And thank you very much, everybody, for coming along and being respectful with your questions and letting people have their say, because there are just a number of different opinions and obviously a real pathway for us that we're going to walk going forward. So thank you very much, and final appreciation of thanks.